All right, man. Well, welcome back. This is going to be a little different for the viewers over at Nocked Up Outdoors. Normally, we have our podcast after the shot and behind the string, doing a couple different things here and there. But this time, I was approached by my good friend Robson over at Hoot Camo, and he had this idea to do a podcast for their guys that he wanted me to be a part of graciously. That I obviously accepted. I thought it was going to be awesome little segment to do. So it's going to be a series on my channel, and it's going to be their main feature podcast over there on the Hoot Camo YouTube channel. So if you haven't gone over there yet, make sure you subscribe to them after you watch this. Before you watch this, link will be in the description below on my video for them to knock that out of the park. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this little segment. Robson and I, we're going to do a couple things here and there and really try to get into this and just have a good time. These are going to be, now I haven't ran this by Robson yet, but I came up with this word I wanted to use for this. I wanted to call it a short cast.
I like it. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah. So little lead into, I'm going to let Robson tell you what our new series of the short cast is going to be.
Yeah. So the idea, we listen to a lot of podcasts. I've got a lot of buddies in the industry that I listen to, Bayou Dragons, Nocked Up Outdoors, a couple others, and it's a great way to spread the word and get to know each other and just kind of build a community in the network in this hunting outdoor world. And so when we thought, man, we'd really want to connect with our followers, our fans, but I really don't want to do a typical podcast. Just not our style, and we're an outdoor clothing brand,
Sure.
not an outfitter. And my thought was, okay, how do we play off the Hoot name, and what do we like to do? Well, the whole brand started around the campfire. The whole idea of Hoot started around the campfire, like our last podcast. I told the story, and that's the idea is campfire conversation, but really honing in on short stories, short hunting, epic hunting stories, hilarious hunting stories, just funny stuff that's happened in the field. So that's the whole idea on the What a Hoot podcast. It's short stories. We'll do lives on Instagram. We'll probably a bunch of it's on FaceTime. Just getting people here to Texas is going to be tough. So we'll do a lot of FaceTime stuff and just have a good time and build our community, build our network in guys that like to do the same shit we do. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's definitely where the social media industry is growing to, with TikTok blowing it out of the water. I mean, you got all these 60-second or less videos, and YouTube's not falling off in any way, shape, or form. But, you give people that 30 minutes or less while they're driving to work. They can listen to a funny and awesome and epic hunting story. They go into work, have their day, and then they can roll episode 2 back out when they leave. It's you don't have to listen to a whole week's worth of and no shame and no plug or nothing, but I mean, a Joe Rogan podcast can last 4 hours. I listen to Joe Rogan podcast all the time, but it takes me a week to get through one episode.
It's a true commitment.
Oh, really. It's a true commitment. Yeah. And
so,
he does a great job with it, but this was kind of a new deal, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think we all have our little short stories, little funny things that we grew up doing, or even, you just got back from Colorado.
Yep.
Anticlimactic, but man, I know every one of my buddies has a story to tell.
Sure.
Funny one or epic one or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if you've got a funny story or an epic story or a crazy out of this world experience, we want to hear about it in the hunting space or fishing space. I know the Bayou Dragons just went down and this past year and caught this epic marlin, and probably it might have been the record, but the guy,
Really?
it was within the guy, and the guy running the boat, captain, was saying, and the mate were saying, if we're wrong, that's a big deal. And as true fishermen,
Yeah.
we don't want to bring this fish in and it be 100 pounds light. And so that's a pretty crazy story. Got my hair standing when they told the story. It's like, wow, as a hunter and as a fisherman, to be put in that situation, number one, that's epic. And number two, it's like, man, what do I do when I have got the biggest fish I've ever seen next to the boat? I don't know, man.
Not a clue.
I don't know.
Not a clue.
We're not, I would say most of us, we're not chasing records. We're not chasing record deer or anything. But if you got a chance to boat one and it might hit it, it's going to be a tough call. But those are the kind of stories we want to hear about. Those are the kind of stories I think all of us want to hear about, and we want to hear from you. So heck yeah, we're here.
Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. So if you guys have a funny story, awesome epic story that you want to tell, shoot Robson at Hoot and message on Instagram. Shoot myself a message on Instagram, YouTube. There's 1,400 ways to get a hold of anybody these days. Besides your cell phone number, which is kind of funny to think about. But yeah, get a hold of us. Let us know. We'll have you on the shortcast, and we'll run with it, man. Yeah.
I've got some funny stories. The hardest thing is being PC. Some of the funny stories, some of the language in the funny stories. Yeah. But man, just growing up in South Texas, we had a great time with our hunting crew. And, man, just had some great times around a campfire. And no certain memory comes to fruition. We spent many a Thanksgiving. Actually, I got one. Many a Thanksgiving in deer camp. That's our week off. We're going to go to deer camp for a week. Mom's not too pleased. Dad's all aboard.
All in.
Yeah. So went for a week, and we were hunting down near Pecos. And it was Thanksgiving. We were cooking a turkey, of course, and we get back from our morning hunt, and we hunted with a guy named Hambone, still a close friend of ours today. And Hambone, I was young. I might have been 12. And we pull up to camp, and Hambone is standing in his whitey tighties with the damn turkey neck hanging out of his drawers. And here I am at 12 years old. I look at my dad terrified, man. In
the only location of the shorts that's acceptable for that, right? Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't in the back for sure. But that memory will stick with me forever. And what a great time, man! Just always cutting up and having a good time, and that's what it's all about for us. That's what this whole experience is. We're just chasing our dream in the outdoor space, but also, man, we live in it every day. So might as well be a part of the network. And we really encourage everybody, just be a part of the brand, be a part of Nocked Up Outdoors, follow us, and just build your community.
Yep.
And I think the funny stories and the campfire conversations go very far.
Oh man, how many drinks have you had just sitting there that you can't even remember the stories, right? Every time you go hunting and you pour one drink after another, and you look over and it's 2 a.m. and you're like, damn, am I gonna get to the stand in the morning? So I'm hoping this people latch onto this and takes off, because everybody talks when the fire starts rolling, and it's going to be a good time, man.
So I don't smoke cigarettes, and never been interested in it, but I have smoked one or two, maybe. Sorry, Grandma. But I don't smoke. I don't know anything about them. So we were going to deer camp last year, and my buddy, I was late to deer camp. Anyways, I'm late everywhere. Anyways, late to deer camp, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, can you get me a pack of Marlboro Gold?"
Something. Yeah. I'm in the same space as you, so I'm tracking.
Don't know what that is. Like, you see that big wall of nicotine, you're like, what do I get? Levi Garrett, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Marlboro Gold. That's what I want. And the lady in Oklahoma, God bless her, she goes, well, do you want the short ones or you want the tall ones?
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, just like a cigar. I want it to last a little longer.
Yeah, I want the long ones.
Give me the tall ones. She goes, honey, those are called 100s. And I said, okay, I'll get the 100s.
She was educating you.
Oh, she was. She has probably had 100 or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so, check out, feeling great. Got the beer, little restock for the boys at duck camp, and get there, and I hand my buddy this pack of Marlboro Golds, and they're tuned up a little bit already, and he looked at me dead square in the face, and he said, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "What?"
This is what Marlboro Golds. That's what he said.
He goes, "Dude, you brought me the grandma cigarettes."
So the long ones are the grandma cigarettes?
I guess. I thought I was doing him a damn favor.
You teaching me something new.
Yeah. But it was so funny because then he got zinged by everybody for smoking these long.
He goes back in the cabin and takes his razor knife and chops off half an inch of the cigarette.
No, this guy, I mean, he's one of my hunting buddies and one of my best friends, and he ended up just embracing it and drinking whiskey out of a measuring cup the rest of the night and just having a great. He wanted a glass, and at duck camp they got red Solos.
Oh yeah.
And a little kitchen, so he found the glass.
Was that at least a glass measuring cup?
Yes, it was.
Hey,
it might have been a 3-cupper.
Wow.
But there was whiskey in it.
She's this big ass. 2 handles probably, right?
Yeah, I said spout or side. What are we doing here?
That's hilarious.
But man, just those kind of stories, man. We're just cutting up. I mean, that's all it is, and having fellowship with you is everything. And and obviously giving something to our followers to kind of see, and we'll see where this thing goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, we all got the good stories. I hope they're better than ours, but
I mean, I've heard some good ones that I could regurgitate, but I want to have those people on because they always tell it better, right?
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
I don't have too many funny hunting stories. A couple epic ones, but I might have to save those for another episode. But yeah, there's gonna be a bunch.
Oh yeah, man. We've had javelinas walk up on us in South Texas, like they can't see worth anything, and they've walked up on Dad a couple times, and man, it's interesting. It's epic. It's something.
Yeah, I had a buddy in college. We had a javelina. We had the back to our sun. Yeah, back to the sun. It's our sun. It's everybody's sun, right? We collectively share the sun. Yeah. We had our back to the sun, so their eyesight sucks already, and he's looking into the sun. We were invisible to that javelina. The dude's eating in the middle of Sendero, and get about 50 yards from it, and I was supposed to shoot it with AR. No big deal. Get about 50 yards, and I'm like, let's see if we can get closer. Just, why not? So we creep up to about 30, creep up to about 20. And at that time, I was like, I clicked the safety on, looked at my buddy, and I said, see if you can go plug that dude with your pistol. He gets to about 5 feet, and pow! Pow, pow! Missed like 4 times, and it runs off in the brush. I was like, all that for you to miss 4 times. He goes, it was so close. I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. It's and that's I want to catch them fresh too, man. There's going to be some stories this year coming out of the field that every year there's epic stories. People have epic hunts, things that aren't normal. I mean, I would say 99% of my stuff is normal hunting.
Oh yeah.
And then the one time.
That's why I'm not talking about the hunt I just got back from. We just talked about that. We went on a hunt. It was fantastic, but
had some great times, probably some great food and
great.
Drink or two, and work your butt off in the mountain. But man, that's what it's all about, man. Get out there and that's the hunt.
Yeah.
And the What a Hoot podcast hopefully can get some crazy moments, and
it will.
Yeah, heck yeah. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Cool deal. Awesome.
What do you got going on in the Nocked Up Outdoors space? Tell me a little bit.
Oh man, it's growing every day. It's been crazy the backing that random people have invested into what I've been doing. Majority of the people on TikTok, but definitely second most majority of people on YouTube. Subscribing, people liking the stuff. You're always going to have the haters, and I enjoy it. But genuine people, it seems like I get a lot more genuine people on YouTube that I'll post a video and then they say something that is real meaningful about it, like, hey, I appreciate you doing this, or hey, this is really cool, and have a comment about it. So it's been cool to have that interaction with people and just kind of, grow the brand. So
yeah, what I see, kind of outside looking in, watch most of your stuff, and man, I'm not a bow hunter at all, but it is very interesting, and I know there's a huge niche for that.
Yeah, and
I want to buy a bow this year because of what you're doing, and you can coach me a little bit for free.
Time's running out. September, brother. I
was hoping for a hand-me-down or something.
Oh, well, you can have that one on the wall, but it's like pulling back a cinder block because it's from 1985.
Well, I'll have my time. I got 2 younger kids to get in.
We'll get you on, man.
But man, I think that's the community thing is everything. I mean, that's what we love, and that's what we're seeing in the brand. And as a camouflage brand, it's interesting because you have these giants. So when people think camouflage brand, they think of these giants. Yeah. And we're just 4 dudes trying to order the right amount of camo and hoping people buy it with good community and good outfitters, and
Yeah.
we have a strategy, and we've teamed up with some awesome brand ambassadors this year that are crushing it.
Yeah.
A couple of them in the outdoor space full time now, which is incredible. A couple others that are wanting to get there, and man, we want to support those dreams just as much as our dreams. I mean,
Yeah.
bringing people along for the ride is everything for us, and we're not anything without people that follow us and support us.
Right.
But we are still the little guy. We all
Yeah.
have our day
Hey.
jobs.
Y'all are eating your protein though. Y'all doing great.
We've split a box of Wheaties, but it's time to
Split a box of Wheaties.
Yeah, we're definitely on the juice now, man. We're drinking the Kool-Aid, and
It's great.
We're all in. Shout out to you for sure. Bayou Dragons, those guys are supporting us really hard.
Yep.
And, we've got a number of outfitters that are just pouring into us, and we hope to reciprocate that going forward and through anything we do.
Sure.
So yeah, man, we're working hard to grow this thing, but bear with us too.
No, it's been great for myself. I've been very fortunate to have found you guys and just try to grow the thing together and stuff like that. So I guess the biggest thing that's been on the horizon for myself is I just opened up a bow shop here in Van Alstyne. So right behind me, where you see it right now, is where all the magic happens. Never something that I wanted to take on. It was always I wanted to do my own thing, have the hunts, do the social media thing, and just one of those things, man. Threw it on Google, and the reciprocation that I've been getting from the local community has been like, hey, did you just open? Like, I had never seen it. I've been lived here, X amount of time. I'd never seen this before. Yeah, come on over. You need new strings. You need this. You need that. Currently it's small, it's growing, just like any other business. So at some point, all these walls in here will be filled with bows and arrows and releases and Hoot camo and all sorts of stuff.
Let's
go. It's going to be one of those things that in keeping it small and local, no employees for now, and just working out of the shop. If it ever grows to something, I'd love to keep it in the Van Alstyne area and have a storefront, have a range, stuff like that. But owning the business, I have the right to put whatever I want in my store. So the two sponsors that I have are you, and I have a string sponsor that's new from Ghost Strings. So I exclusively use Ghost Strings on any bow that comes in here, and I will exclusively sell your products in my shop, no others.
Heck yeah, man.
So it's going to be awesome.
You look back 6 months ago and where we were as a brand and where we're going now, and the strategy and all the things that we go through. You're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And to have a YouTube channel with, bow education is what I see it as, is bow education, and guys see you do things and they're like, oh shit, I need to do that.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Right.
And then, in 6 months or a year and a half or whenever it is, our eyes are set on, we would love a flagship shop, and having a bow, your bow brand connected to that would be awesome. But, that's everything for us, is the community.
Yeah.
And then building friends and just building this thing slow and steady. Don't get over our skis kind of deal. But
Sure.
we want to be the
But ski.
Oh, we're going to go skiing for sure.
Just maybe not double blacks right off gate.
Yeah, we're going to stay on the blues.
Hit the bunny slopes and then
we're going to stay on the blues for a while. But we want to be personable to where you can reach out to your camo company and say, hey, I really would think this would work in the field, and we'll go to the team and say, hey, is this something that we can do?
Yeah.
And then launch it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the personability side of it. It's like, man, I think this jacket would be awesome with the little pocket right here.
Right.
Tell us, man. We'd love to add it. You know, and it's
well, and that's some of the feedback I give to you, because I know a lot of the brand ambassadors that support you guys do a lot of fishing, rifle hunting, stuff like that. I don't know how many archers that you have, and whenever I put some of your gear on and I wear it for a couple hours, I'm like, man, I really love the fact that it does this, or I love that it's silent, or hey, I don't really like this for what I do, but I'm being specific. So the feedback from you guys getting from the field, from I'm assuming the rest of your brand ambassadors as well, has got to be invaluable. So that way you can, improve the product. Right?
Absolutely. That's what we talk about on every time we talk. We're talking about how do we improve.
Yeah.
Because we want to give you the best product possible
Yeah.
at the most affordable price.
Yep.
You know, and that's going to be our motto. It's going to remain our motto. And man, that's what we're all about. So yes, brand ambassadors, the guides that are wearing it this year with the outfitters we've teamed up with, and just our guys that are following us and supporting us.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything, you just hit us up, man. We're an open book. I'm sure you can find our cell phone numbers pretty easy. So
Yeah, mine's on Google now.
I know. Call them.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna last for long. Yeah, that's working on the office number for sure because people are crazy. But no, it's all good. But that's one of the coolest things I like with working with you is I run my stuff the same way. You know, you're always gonna have those people that are, in my world, the high end, gonna spend a lot of money, gonna go do target shooting on a national level. The Levi Morgans of the world, and then you're going to have the people that are too scared to get into the sport, right? I want to be somewhere right in the middle. I want those people that are too scared to get in the sport to come shake my hand and say, dude, I don't know what's going on, just like you just did, and I need you to help me. And then I want the ASA guy in to check his ego and come into me and say, hey, I dry fired my bow. I need your help fixing the string. No problem, brother. So I'm not trying to cater to one to the other. It's just, even with all the TikTok content, you know, there's always going to be haters and there's always going to be people that do this and that. But if you can stay somewhere in the middle of the realm and just ignore the people you want to ignore, then it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, you definitely have a different battle than we do. You know, we just sell apparel, you know. You don't like a jacket or pant, you know, you're going to voice your opinion and move on.
Yeah.
We don't want that. You know, we want to cater to all the complaints, but
well, I mean,
there's gonna be the one thing that we've not struggled with, that is a opportunity for us, is the fit.
Yeah,
because I can be an XL, and then we also have buddies that are XLs that have a little bit bigger belly.
Yep.
So how do you, as a brand, how do you cater to that?
Yeah.
Either the slim guy, and Big Dog's not slim, but you know, you get it.
Slimmer than most.
No. Dang it. No, I think that's just the whole thing is like, look, there's going to be things that just don't fit,
sure,
or that are too big or too boxy or whatever the case may be. And it, you know, just know as a brand, we know, and we want to hear that, because that's how we get better. And that's how we, you know, we're looking at a new program this next year that could really open up some doors for some really tall guys, really big guys that don't really have the sizes in the stores. And that could be that program that we're looking at could be, game changer for these guys that just don't have that opportunity to buy shit at the store.
Right.
That fits. So yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling. But back to the What a Hoot podcast.
Yeah. The last thing I do want to ask you is what you guys got coming up. I know there's a new camo. I don't know if you've released it yet, but I'm excited about it. So
yeah, we've
touch on it real quick.
We've told a few. We've kind of launched it on Facebook or Instagram a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of teased it.
Yep.
It's a new camo. Haven't named it yet. We've got some really good names. Really good names that I would love to.
Aren't going to be used.
Yeah, a few of those too. But it's has some little bit of a greener hue to it, more of a wet. You know, if it's been a wet year, it's going to be a little bit greener. And for an owl camo to have that little bit of, it's almost like a greenish gray.
Yep.
It comes from the owl, so it's not green, but that's just what we found.
Yep.
And it's gonna blend awesome, man. We got the Buho, which is just our flagship pattern.
Yep.
And that's gonna blend in most areas in the U.S. In the shade or in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You have our Sky Tiger, which is later early season, kind of a brown, drier year kind of camo, and then we're really excited for camo number 3 because it's just different. It's owl camo, so but it'll conceal.
It's I think it's my favorite. I like the color palette, and like I told you, we were texting back and forth while I was in Colorado this last week, and man, that you could have got lost because I got all the meadows are dead grass, but all the oaks are live, and that camo blends those two between that. We'll call it yellow, dead grass, all the way to that bright green. that entire spectrum that you could get 1 million colors out of, you're blending all those there. So, I was sitting there in the woods thinking about it, and I was like, man, this could be great. You could have a whole kit of camo number 3, which I would consider, at least for Western game, to be your September into October camo.
Mm-hmm.
You go rifle hunting October into the end of November, and then you got your Sky Tiger because everything's dying out. And then when you head into winter and you got your deadfall and your snow, you got your Booho.
Yeah.
You could wear each one of those every other month and be completely concealed in every environment.
Absolutely.
Not that the Booho didn't work for me while we were there early season. It's the pattern that does it all, is my true belief in camo. But, man, that camo number 3 we would have been invisible.
It's special. It is special, and I'm excited to get some more stuff here. All of our camos should be here in the next few weeks and really be pushing it. We're a little late, but we're a small business, so our goal this year is to release good stuff, good quality gear.
Yep.
We have low numbers. It's kind of limited numbers with our outfitters and our brand ambassadors. We'll have some lower numbers this year, but rolling into next year, everybody's seen the gear in the field through our social media, and next year is go time. And man, we're excited to be here, but we're also pushing to move forward and kind of push into that little bit bigger piece of the pie in our industry. And we'll be at a few more shows this next year. We'll have our brand ambassadors pushing, being at the shows with us, and man, it's all about that network. So
that's going to be cool. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to get my hands on it. I've been asking him, like, hey, you got those ready for me yet? I'm ready to get my hands on that new one, but it'll happen when it happens. I'm just an impatient person, so that's how it rolls. But that's cool, man. Yeah,
man. Well, I appreciate the intro to the What a Hoot podcast.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be cool,
to get
man.
This rolling.
It's just different. I'm sure there's other things like it, but just to have guys come on, tell your crazy, funny, hilarious, epic adventure story. Get in, let's have a laugh, let's have a drink together, and then we move on. So
no, let's do it. So if you guys have any kind of stories like that, and you've watched this, or you're on YouTube later on, you've seen it either on Hoot Camo's channel or Nocked Up Outdoors, my channel, send me a message on Instagram, TikTok, the whole works. We're going to plug a bunch of shorts on TikTok and everything to kind of get the word out there for this. But send me a message if you feel like you want to do it. Not scared of getting behind a mic, or you've never been on a podcast before, don't be scared. Promise we're going to have a drink and just hang out. It's nothing crazy, nothing serious, but we'd love to have you and hear your story. So make sure you reach out to us, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, one thing I would encourage everybody is FaceTime your buddies. That's something that I think we can text all the time. We can have a phone call. You FaceTime your buddy. I think that's where the story really gets told, and that's the goal here. When we have guys on and we're live with them, I think that's seeing their face, seeing each other smile. Man, that's what it's all about. So
you share a lot more emotion than just the words.
You see it, right? And everybody gets to see it, and that's what it's all about. I mean, I could tell a story on here all day long, and you may get a giggle, but you see my face.
Yeah. You see the emotion, you see the drive. It doesn't have to be a funny story. If you're telling the most epic story about your hunting and you start to get emotional about it because it was the best time of your life, you don't get that over reading an article. You don't get that over a phone call. You get that from looking at my face, seeing like, damn, he's about to cry because it was so awesome, right?
First person that makes me cry, I will send you a hat and a shirt, no doubt.
I'll second it. I'll double down.
And it's not hard to make me cry, honestly.
Oh, he's a baby.
No, I'm in touch with my emotions. No. Okay.
Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you for we'll call it episode 1. We'll call this episode 0 because we're kind of introducing it. I like it, but we'll see who our first guest is on episode 1. If you want to be the first guest on episode 1, make sure you reach out. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining.